This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television.
Introduce to you the members of the Baroque Trio. We have Elizabeth Kitson on flute from Wallingford Symphony Orchestra. We have Artemis Simerson on violin from New Haven Symphony Orchestra. And we have Patty Smith on violoncello from New Haven Symphony Orchestra also. Let's give them a big round of applause. And Phil Ventry, if he is still here, he was saying hello to everybody on the way in. He is the conductor of the Wallingford Symphony Orchestra, and they just joined the chamber, and we are thrilled. On behalf of the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce and the Athena Committee, I would like to thank you all for joining us this afternoon to honor the 2014 Regional Athena Leadership Award. The Athena Leadership Award is presented to a person who is honored for professional excellence, community service, and for actively assisting women in their attainment of professional excellence and leadership skills. We have incredible nominees this year, so please take the time to read their brief bios. They're in the center of your tables. They really warrant taking a look at. Today's luncheon is presented by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield and is made possible by the generosity of its sponsors: Middlesex Hospital, TD Bank, Comcast Business, First Niagara, the North Haven Courier, and United Bank. I'd also like to thank all of the generous businesses that donated items for today's raffle. We will be announcing the winners at the end of the program. Think Pink. I want to note that all of the proceeds from today's raffle will be donated to Smilo Breast Cancer Center for patient resources in honor of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. And now, yes. And now I would like to bring up Tony Resigno, the president of the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce and the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. Tony?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it very much. You know, it's kind of a difficult event for me because I'm not one of these guys that think everybody should get an award. You know, I think people have different levels of skills and abilities, but clearly the 9 people that are being recognized today are all terrific. So we hired the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe to do the tabulations. And they came up with only one winner, and but no question, everybody is a winner here today. Let me first I want to thank the staff over at the Quinnipiac Chamber. You know, it's been a year now since we affiliated together, exactly a year, October 1, and I think I speak for just about everybody on both ends that this has been a wonderful, wonderful marriage. We've gotten off on a really good foot. Our events are stellar. Our membership is up. Businesses now have the opportunity to mix in, both at the Quinnipiac folks with the New Haven folks and vice versa. We have some key events that we run together. It's just a win-win for everybody. So it's a great pleasure. Dee, Maribel, Brittany, Liz, the folks that work directly at the Quinnipiac Chamber, and all of our staff in New Haven. We've got 20 employees that are always here to back up the folks that are at Quinnipiac to make this the most successful chamber around. We're very proud of what's happening. If you agree, please tell your friends. We've got over 500 members. We want 1,000 as the next goal. So anything you can do to help us with that, that would be terrific. I want to thank the Oakdale Theater. I want to make sure that we thank our key partners, the business community that's always there for us, and our corporate sponsors this year. I just want to mention them one at a time because it's important. So our premier sponsor is Component Engineers in Wallingford. Our corporate sponsors are Allnex USA, BIC USA, Choate Rosemary Hall, CST in Wallingford, GBAC, a lot of acronyms here, but these are good companies that you can look up. Lipper International Inc., Midstate Medical Center, Nucor Steel, Connecticut, TD Bank, Albrecht Steel, Workforce Alliance, and our business partners are Brzezinski and Company, Diversified Employment Services, Kenbar Solutions, Mezzanotte Law Firm, Quest Diagnostics, Sayward Companies, United Illuminating Company, Webster Bank. I hope first of all, when we read lists like this, I know it can be tedious, but I hope it's even more tedious next year, and I got double the amount to announce. So please come and be part of the team and get involved, and it's a two-way street. Anything you do for us, we're gonna do back for you. Good karma is something we all believe in. It is now my pleasure to introduce our key sponsor today. And, you know, Jill Hummel, I'm going to ask her to come up. She's the president of Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. She's been in the insurance business for a while, but relatively new down here at Anthem. And come on up, Jill. And, you know, I say this about a lot of people, and it's certainly no different with Jill. She jumps in. You know, she got here to the community and wants to be involved. And when we asked Jill and Jim Auger, who you all know, you know, would you like to be part of this program? You know, the answer was absolutely. And this is the kind of leadership that we love. So thank you very much, Jill.
Well, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. It is an absolute honor to be here and to have the opportunity to sponsor this event. I want to start by congratulating all of the nominees. Really fabulous, excited for all of you. When we were asked to sponsor this event, it was literally a no-brainer. As a result of our culture and our policies, we've earned a reputation as being a great place for women to work and for women leaders to thrive. Here in Connecticut, in our Wallingford office, 78% of our 1,400 associates are women. 56% of our leaders in the local community are women. And probably most relevant for me, 3 out of the 4 last presidents, including myself at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, have been women. And that is one of the reasons that we've been consistently recognized as one of the top 50 employers for diversity and also one of the top employers for executive women. So I'm actually very, very proud to be associated with a company that's known for that. In addition to congratulating all of our nominees, probably the most important thing I want to do is thank all of you. You all were nominated because you walk the talk. That means that you have all invested in helping other women in your communities, in your workplace, so that they could thrive and really achieve their full potential. And while doing that and investing in women, you've also invested in your communities. Every single one of you has given back in a very, very significant way. It is really humbling to be here amongst so many wonderful women leaders today. And again, I just want to thank you all for your contributions personally and on behalf of Anthem. And I know this is unscripted, but I would really like to ask all of you to give them all a round of applause. So, thank you very much.
Jill, thank you so much. I forgot to mention, as soon as this lunch is over, she's on a plane someplace, and not a vacation. She's working, but worked her schedule so she could be here, so thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Wallingford, Bill Dickinson. He really needs no introduction, but let me just say, I've known Bill for about 25 years. We were colleagues at one point when I was first selectman, and this guy watches the dollars. I mean, he's a real model for all politicians, and what I love about him is he supports this chamber wholeheartedly. So, Bill.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful event on a beautiful day. So it's nice to gather together on such an occasion. You know, there was a man in his 30s who would always go and mow his parents' lawn. On one occasion, there was a middle school student mowing the lawn next door. So he said, "Hey, that's nice of you to be mowing your parents' lawn." I said, "Well, it's punishment. I skipped a day of school." And looked at the man and said, "Why are you mowing the lawn?" And he said, "I cut a class when I was your age, and I'm still working it off." Providing a great example and incentive. And that's what we're doing today. The honorees, the Athena Leadership Awards, honoring women who set a great example and provide real incentives, not just for the business that they run, but for everyone around them to go that extra mile, do what needs to be done, and really inspire everyone. The community benefits from it. Obviously, the chamber is very seriously recognizing that for all of the good things that come out of it. So, on behalf of the town of Wallingford, congratulations to all the honorees. What you do is irreplaceable, and we thank you for all you achieve. Thank you very much.
Real credit to Bill, and I'm going to introduce Mike Frieda, first selectman from North Haven. That these guys are really busy. They really do have a lot on their plate, and they make the time to be here. So let me introduce Mike Frieda, First Selectman in North Haven, to come on up and say a few words.
Thank you very much, Tony. It's a great pleasure to be here, a great delight. This event every year is special to me because, as some of you know, that I've only been in government for 5 years. Prior to that, I spent many years as president of my companies, and throughout those years, I was a huge supporter of having women promoted to executive positions. I was proud of the fact we had executive vice presidents of information technology, human resources, sales, and marketing in my business career. Today, even in government in North Haven, I'm proud of the fact that we have women in very key executive positions in government in the town of North Haven. I'd like to congratulate all the nominees today. You've made a tremendous impact to the industries and the businesses you're involved with. And as someone once said to me, and it's so true, Mike, when women succeed, America succeeds. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Thanks, Mike. And now I would like to introduce to you our speaker sponsor, Bill Burmeister. He is the Director of Physician Practice Relations at Middlesex Hospital, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Dee. I'm delighted to be here representing Middlesex Hospital today to introduce our guest speaker. And on behalf of our entire organization, I'd like to congratulate this incredible group of nominees we're here to honor today. Middlesex Hospital strives to serve the greater Middlesex and New Haven counties with a comprehensive and wide-reaching array of services, from our flagship hospital in Middletown to our state-of-the-art new medical center in Westbrook, and our 15 primary care and urgent care practices throughout the area. We seek to provide the most cutting-edge treatments with a compassionate touch. Our clinical outcomes and patient satisfaction scores have been recognized nationally, and our cancer survival rates surpass some of the best in the country. We're very proud of the expert care we deliver by all the talented physicians and nurses at the hospital, and as a result, we've been recognized as one of the top 100 magnet nursing, most wired, and safest hospitals in the state by Consumer Reports, Health Grades, and many others. So now let's move on to our esteemed guest speaker, because you're not certainly here to see me speak. During her distinguished 20-year broadcast career, Emmy Award-nominated News 8 medical reporter Jocelyn Maminta works tirelessly for many nonprofits across Connecticut. She serves on many boards, including the Friends of Yale New Haven Children's Hospital and the Arts Council of Greater New Haven. Jocelyn is co-founder of Caroline's Room, a safe haven for families coping with the challenges and uncertainties surrounding the birth of a premature baby. And as a father of a 27-week preemie myself, I can't tell you how important this is. Currently, Caroline's Room is located in 7 states, including 2 right here in Connecticut. Jocelyn is also the CEO and founder of Frangie Pangie Fine Hosiery, with profits supporting Caroline's Room. We are very fortunate to have Jocelyn join us today, so please give a warm welcome to Jocelyn Maminta.
Yeah, what a pleasure it is to do stories at Middlesex Hospital. So thank you very much. I was just telling Bill what a pleasure it is for me to do stories at Middlesex Hospital, and I hope to do more this year. Thank you for inviting me here today to help celebrate and to recognize the nominees and the eventual winner of this year's Athena Award. Being nominated is no small honor. You've been selected because your peers have witnessed your professional excellence, your supportive community, and because you have extended a helping hand to other women. And I so agree with this statement from former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, who said, "There is a special place in hell for women who don't help other women." So true, right? I see a lot of women nodding out there. Now, I want to spend a few minutes talking about that concept of excellence. Now, think about this for a moment. As you go about your day, any day, are you more likely to run into excellence or mediocrity? How often are you confronted with downright poor performance at work, at play, in politics, and governance? It takes hard work, perseverance, and tenacity to be at the top of your game. It is so much easier, isn't it, to be mediocre? I don't think we talk about excellence enough. We don't demand it enough. We are far too willing, too much of the time, to put up with subpar treatment and poor customer service. Consider this. Real Clear Politics averaged all the polls on Congress just last week. The average approval rate was just 12.3%. More than 80% disapproved of Congress. One Associated Press poll pegged the approval rating as low as 7, with 93% of the country disapproving. Yet this November, nearly every incumbent will be sent back to Washington. CONCAN, a pro-charter school advocacy group in New Haven, recently released its annual report card of all the schools in our state. They measured the school's performance against the stated state standards. Out of 43 New Haven public schools, 10 got Fs, 17 earned a D, and 11 scored a C. 4 more earned a B, and only one school in 43 public schools did well enough to be given an A. I read a news story a couple of weeks ago about how some bridal companies and wedding planners are putting in fine print in their contracts forbidding customers to give them a bad review on Yelp or to say anything disparaging about their service, even if their service is totally unacceptable to them. There are many, many more examples, as you probably know, from Wall Street to Main Street. Inevitably, those involved in the examples I noted and elsewhere will come up with all kinds of excuses. They'll say there are extenuating circumstances. They'll say people on the other side did not cooperate, or they'll ignore the failure and just focus on what they call reform. Real excellence, long-term, sustained, and noteworthy accomplishments are not rooted in excuses and finger-pointing. They are formulated, nurtured, and embedded in one's character. It is instilled at a young age, but at some point, the women honored today and others of note embraced excellence as a way of life. They embraced community and nurturing of others they found along the way. And we really do need more of it. We need to demand and exhibit and grow within ourselves, always striving to do better, indeed, to be the very best. My dear friend Tony Resigno asked me to share a little about myself and my philosophy of life and how that might put an accent on the Athena Award. Excellence is something I grasped on to early in life. I did not grow up aspiring to be a journalist. My family immigrated from the Philippines. I am an immigrant, and I'm proud to be a naturalized citizen. My father is a doctor who dreamed of having all 7 of his children to be doctors as well. I was pre-med in college, and after preparing for it all my life, I decided that it really wasn't for me. I switched to poli-sci and business at the University of Missouri in Columbia. But I wasn't content to being just anywhere after graduation. Where else could I go? Well, I moved to Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. I traveled by public transit, ate a lot of frozen dinners while learning my way around the corridors of power as a gopher. I was working for a firm of lobbyists. I learned all the nooks and crannies of the Capitol. I rode the Underground Railway with congressmen and senators. Can't do that anymore since 9/11. Then I went to work for Ursula Meese, the wife of President Ronald Reagan's Attorney General, Edwin Meese III. She took me under her wing. She told me she gave me the job because I had no experience. Now, I would think she would be perfect for this Athena Award. So she nurtured and helped me grow. She told me then that I was a survivor. She opened my eyes to the media, both good and bad, during the Reagan years, and I decided I had to be a journalist. My first job was in North Carolina as a television reporter. Some of the people in the station didn't treat me so well. Some not so helpful, but others did, and little by little, I went from being a cub reporter to a pretty good one, after jumping to Buffalo, then coming back to North Carolina. I am competitive and have always been, and I do it with good sportsmanship, though. My goal was to come back with my story and then some. I did my best to have facts and aspects of the story that no other station or newspaper would have. The need for excellence is what drove me. And did I mention the reason I went back to North Carolina? You see, I met this great guy when I was there the first time. He was tired of traveling to Buffalo, so he finally decided it was better to put a ring on it. And 25 years later, Gary is still the man. He's actually here taking pictures. We moved to Connecticut so I could anchor the morning show on Channel 8 and was teamed up with Keith Coons, one of my dearest friends. We went from third place to first place in this state, and we held our position there until our team was forced to split up part of the business. Our small family of one child would expand while here that first time with the premature birth of our daughter, Caroline. She died 2 months and a day after being born at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital, and not long after I had done a series on the NICU at Yale. I then took media jobs in Milwaukee and later in Texas, main anchors at the stations, before coming back to Connecticut, home. We really feel like this is home, in 2002. I fill in anchor now, but primarily cover medical health news for the station. I truly, truly love my job and all the wonderful and interesting people I get to meet every day. People who are making great strides for humanity through medical research and breakthroughs. I meet everyday folk struggling to raise their families while facing health challenges. I write my stories in a compelling way, always striving to present them in a clear and in a more excellent way than my own peers. I hope you walk away learning something new from my stories. I know I do every day. The television business can be a brutal place to work. It's not so kind when you first start out because you're so inexperienced, but it's one of the few industries that rarely rewards longevity. How many women do you see older than 50 who are still in it? There are few of us. But after almost 30 years in the business, I can tell you the industry does respect excellence. There is not always a lot of it in the media these days, but when you have it, they know it. And the public sees it and wants more of it. And I'd like to think that I am meeting their demand. I'd be remiss if I did not mention my business interests. Several years ago, I launched Frangipani, a high-end line of hosiery for women of all color. I did it because what was in the marketplace was poor quality and lacked the color spectrum for today's multicultural and blended women. We're online and in boutiques around Connecticut and on the West Coast. I am wearing my Frangipani. Check out my legs later. I've also launched JM Media Group, which does video productions, media buys, and is a full-service ad agency providing top-notch concierge service. I wouldn't know how to do it any other way. Again, excellence, excellence, excellence. My community is very important to me. I have served for many years on the Board of Friends of Yale New Haven Children's Hospital, and this year was elected co-president with another fabulous woman and business owner, Jen Ford Chatfield. I also serve on the board of the Arts Council for Greater New Haven and on the executive board of the March of Dimes, Connecticut, and a member of the Junior League of Greater New Haven. Yes, I am busy. As co-founder of Caroline's Room, we build unique safe havens for families in the neonatal intensive care units of hospitals around the country. We have 13 so far and are in the planning stages for 2 more in 2015. They are located in major institutions. The first, of course, at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital. While they are named after my daughter, they really are for the families who face unbelievable turmoil and strife of having a premature baby, and for the caregivers who take such good care of their tiny miracles. Sadly, we know that many people each year follow our footsteps, and this is our way of reaching out to help smooth that path for them and give them a private, elegant, comforting space so they are better able to deal with the uncertainties ahead. In closing, I'd like to leave you with the short version and the takeaway points. I am a journalist, a philanthropist, and an entrepreneur. I embrace excellence, and my hope is that all of you do as well. If you are not already, start with yourself and demand and encourage it of others. Hold yourself to as high a standard as you can, and then push for even more. But keep your heart tender by giving back to your community. See a need, fill a need. It is unfulfilling to go through life known for your excellence if you can't bring that same standard to the community in which you live by giving back. And finally, it's challenging to stay on top. Do not lose sight of your footprints. There are others who are following you, and they may need a helping hand, a bit of encouragement, or some of your time. Time is perhaps the most precious gift you can give to someone, so be generous with others. It is always does come back many times over in one way or another. So how do you fight off a sea of mediocrity? Well, you do it by being a model for excellence and demanding those you support politically or do business with to do the same. No excuses. Thank you.
Thank you, Jocelyn. It goes without saying you are a true inspiration. Right now, we're going to take a little break while you enjoy your lunch, and when we come back, we will announce the nominees and the recipient of our Athena Award.
I just have to acknowledge a couple of people before we get on with the awards. Vice Chair of the Quinnipiac Board is, he is the immediate past chair, Paul Mayer. Paul? Kevin O'Rourke is our chair, and, he's in Italy. This is what happens when you get affiliated with New Haven. You go on trips to Italy, and it's a good move. But Paul, thank you for being here, appreciate it. I also want to acknowledge Len Matteo, who is a partner at Edge Technology, but the chairman of the New Haven board. And Len and Paul don't miss an event or anything either of our chambers are doing, so we appreciate it. What about Jocelyn Memento? Anybody? So we've asked Jocelyn to moderate a very interesting panel that we're going to be having right here at the Oakdale on November 20th at the Chambers Expo. And they've got Sweeps Week, is it week or month? Sweeps month in November. So she's got to go back and twist some arms so she can be here. Do we want her to moderate that panel, or should we get somebody else? Little bit of pressure. I'm going to turn it back to Dee so we can get on with the awards.
Okay, this brings us to an important part of today's program, recognizing today's nominees for their leadership and commitment to improving the lives of others. For over 32 years, communities have presented the Athena Leadership Award to individuals whose lives are characterized by commitment to their profession, their community, and to the enhancement of life for other people. These individuals inspire others to achieve their full potential. When I call your name, could you please come up on stage? We'd like to present you with a certificate of achievement. The 2014 Regional Athena Award nominees are Yetta Auger, Development Officer for Sarah Foundation. Yetta is recognized for her many selfless acts and community service. Her efforts to coordinate and raise funds to help Hamden seniors in need is just one example. Thank you, Etta. Ida DiFrancesco, owner and manager of, where's Ida? There she is. Owner and manager of Farmer Joe's Garden, who serves as a mentor to her employees and personally lobbied Washington for the rights and support of small and family-owned farms. Mary Papazian, president of Southern Connecticut State University. Mary, where's Mary? Mary Papazian. Mary is the president of Southern Connecticut State University, whose emphasis on strengthening and supporting research and development in New Haven is a great benefit to Southern's campus, its faculty and students. And Nanette Pastor. She is the senior vice president of Pierce Real Estate. Nanette could not be here with us today, but her colleagues describe her as a role model who is inspiring and has much enthusiasm and passion in bringing out the potential in others. Christine Reardon. Christine. She is the manager, Strategic Development Business Services for Workforce Alliance. Her expertise in project design and policy have allowed over $20 million in grants to be awarded to Workforce Alliance over the years. We have Kelly Smith-Papa. Where's Kelly? She is. Kelly is the corporate director of learning for Masonic-Care. Her motivational leadership style makes caregivers feel empowered to learn new approaches, get out of their comfort zones, and become re-energized believers in themselves. And we have Kelly Wade Patucci. Where's Kelly Wade Patucci? There she is. Kelly is the Director of External and Legislative Affairs at AT&T. Kelly is hardworking and passionate in her commitment to making our state a better place to live and work. She has an exceptional ability to see what the future holds in terms of economic opportunity. Next, we have Tracy Weiss. Where's Tracy? There's Tracy. Tracy is the owner and president of Right at Home. Tracy has sponsored many community events. As an ambassador for Second Wind Dreams, Tracy leads virtual dementia tours to sensitize the community and caregivers to the physical and mental challenges facing those with dementia. And we have Robin Wilson. Where's Robin? Robin is President Emeritus of the Quinnipiac Chamber. Robin is a true innovator, and everything she has done is for the betterment of the Chamber. Just a few examples. She made Quinnipiac the first chamber in Connecticut to have its own website in 1995. And she formed several mentoring programs, such as the Women's Council that still exists today. Let's give all of these women a big round of applause. Your personal and professional accomplishments are all superb examples of the type of leadership our community needs. So thank you, ladies. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, Would Jill Hummel from Anthem please come up to announce the recipient?
Great, thank you, Dee, and congratulations again to all of the nominees. And now I am so pleased on behalf of the Athena International Board of Directors and the Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce to congratulate and proudly announce the winner of the 2014 Athena Leadership Award, and that is Dr. Mary Papazian. Congratulations. I'd like to read. Very well deserved. So I just wanted to read from the congratulatory letter from the President and CEO of Athena International, Diane Dinkle. And she said, "You now join a prestigious group of 7,000 Athena leaders worldwide who are changing their community and impacting individuals in their realm of influence. You represent the kind of women we believe sets the standard for all women with regard to living their best life, achieving their full potential, and sharing their gifts with other women along the way." And if the pages wouldn't stick together, "You embody the Athena mission of inspiring women to achieve their full potential and creating balance in leadership worldwide." So again, congratulations, Dr. Papazian.
Sure. Many of my team are here at the table from Southern Connecticut State University, and thank you for being here today. I'm not usually speechless, but I must say I was so impressed with all the women who joined me on stage, and just want to say again, thank you for being co-nominees with me. I didn't know whose name was going to be called, but I'm honored to be amongst you. And truly to be amongst this community. Thank you to the Quinnipiac Chamber, to the Greater New Haven Chamber, and to all of you here in Connecticut who have been so welcoming to me when I took the reins at Southern just almost 3 years ago. The time does pass. I have been motivated and inspired by women my whole life. It starts so often, as it does for so many of us, right at the home. And I always look back at the life and experience of my mother, who was probably my greatest inspiration out there in California. But I learned a great deal from her, and I always wanted to be like her. I'm not sure I have been, but I hope I've made her proud. And at a university where 60% of our students are women, we have a special role, I think, to ensure that we are modeling the kind of commitment to excellence that Jocelyn spoke about, but also the civic commitment that really makes our societies a greater place, that all of those women and men, because we are always supported. Look at all these wonderful men in the room today who have supported us as well along the way. I have a husband and 3 brothers, so I always make sure I remember all the great support that we've gotten, but that we do model that, because our young women and our young men who graduate from us will go out and be the leaders of tomorrow. All of you are doing that in so many ways. Connecticut is the most incredibly welcoming space and community. And but let me just say this too, as a state, I've in the last few days been at various functions and had the chance to see Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, Mayor Tony Harp, all women in leadership who are providing models for our community as well. So I look at that, I look at my 2 daughters, and I think that what we do today matters for tomorrow. So again, thank you to all my fellow nominees for all the work you did. Thank you to all of you for joining us here today. Thank you to the chambers, to my team, who is an incredible team that puts up with me. Jocelyn, the excellence and the pushing, they've heard the pushing, they've even heard the excellence, but every now and then, and this is what we all need, they remind me to slow down. And to remember the balance in life as well. That's part of what we have to model. So thank you again. It's an honor to be here, don't know what else to say. Can't end it, but I will. Thank you.
Congratulations again. Very lovely.
Thanks, everyone, and congratulations to Dr. Papazian again. I would like to invite all of you to join us for the Big Connect Business Expo right here at the Oakdale on November 20th that Tony was mentioning. And our annual holiday party is going to be at the beautiful Gouveia Vineyards on December 10th, so don't miss it. If you have never been there, it's a little piece of heaven on earth. And we also want you to save the date for our 100-year celebration, our centennial celebration at Choate Rosemary Hall. Hillary Nastro is here. She's on our board. They're hosting, sponsoring part of this for us, so we're thrilled to have it in their beautiful dining hall.